I thanked my brother's killer. My older brother, Travis, was not a good person. He used his height and weight to intimidate everyone around him. He was violent and angry all the time, and he had no problem with slapping a woman for no reason, since he did that to me all the time. He loved to push me around. He was my biggest tormentor growing up. To our parents, he was the golden child who could do no wrong. He got away with everything, because our father was the mayor of the town. If he broke the law, he got off scot-free. When we were kids, he would blame me for things that I never did. I would often be in trouble because of him. My parents always believed him over me. Why would he lie? The day my brother died started off normally. It was a beautiful day with the sun shining and birds chirping. Travis was being his usual annoying self, but there was something slightly different about him. He was paler than normal with dark circles under his eyes. It was obvious he hadn't been sleeping. He looked thinner than the last time I saw him too. He was almost skin and bones, which definitely wasn't like him at all. His eyes were red and darting back and forth. He jumped at every little noise and stiffened if someone touched him. I continued watching him throughout the day, seeing how he interacted with the rest of the family. His eyes kept sliding back to me and I didn't like his attention. After dinner, my parents announced they were going on their usual date night and that Travis was spending the weekend with us. My heart immediately dropped into my gut when I heard that. I was going to be home alone with my tormentor. That was usually when most of the abuse happened. I was 17 now, but still terrified of my own brother. He shot me a sly grin followed by a secret wink that my parents didn't see. I felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't bring myself to wave goodbye to them as they left the house. Travis wrapped an arm around my shoulders and squeezed tightly. "What should we do first?" he asked with a slightly manic grin on his face. "I think I'm going to my friend's house," I answered slowly. His grin slowly faded away as he stared at me with dead eyes. "I don't think so," he said softly. "We have a lot to discuss." I shook my head and backed toward the stairs. "No, we don't," I protested. "Just leave me alone." I turned to run up the stairs, but he was quicker, leaping forward and grabbing the back of the shirt. I cried out in alarm as he yanked me away from the bottom step. For a moment, I seemed suspended in the air upside down, but then my back slammed into the floor, hard enough to drive the wind out of me. I laid there, dazed and gasping for breath. He grabbed my arm and pulled me to my feet while I was still a little dazed. I shook my head to clear it as he began dragging me to his room on the first floor. I didn't want to be alone with him in an enclosed place. My body froze as flashbacks filled my thoughts. I kept seeing his face above mine, lips twisted into a cruel smirk. I was running out of time to save myself. Taking a deep breath, I kicked him hard in the shin. He cursed and loosened his grip enough for me to yank myself free. Then I ran, straight out the front door and down the street. I could hear Travis following me, muttering curses and yelling threats. I heard his boots on the pavement, getting closer to me. He was faster. I couldn't keep this up much longer. I had to cross the street. Without thinking, at the next block, I raced across the street, hearing the squealing of tires and honking horns. Then I heard the horrific sound of a crash, followed by a few screams. I paused and glanced behind me. My brother was on the ground with his head bent at an odd angle, and his eyes will haunt me forever. They were open and unseeing, dead. He was gone forever, and all I could feel was relief. My biggest tormentor was no longer around to torment me. I limped up to the driver of the car that killed him. She was a young woman in shock, and I threw my arms around her neck. "Thank you for killing him," I whispered in her ear. "You saved my life."